I have no response to that.
Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the Bullfrog without the newt. But through the magic of green screen and editing, I can do this.
Face reveal at 100,000 subscribers.
We would love the subscribers, and you would like to see that face, I hope. No, it's not. That's not a bag against newt, it's a bad place to joke. Burn! Alright. Everyone's been bagging on this movie and hating this movie, and I thought, does it deserve it? Well, let's find out. This is my opinion of Disney celebrating 100 years with its release of Wish.
I make this wish.
And that's kind of the point. It's celebrating 100 years of Disney. And you see it that it's trying its best to celebrate Disney.
I have no response to that.
The movie begins like a classic Disney, a storybook opening with a narrator. And this is kind of like the prologue. And in this prologue, it talks about how the kingdom was founded by a magical sorcerer. And that became a king, and people came to him because he could grant wishes. And I admit, this is where the movie kind of does a red flag. It says it's based in the Mediterranean. Weird to point this out, but that is kind of a small point for me. Disney movies, it's better when they are farther removed from reality. Pinocchio, yes, the story is Italian, it has an Italian look, but it's more about Pinocchio. Little Mermaid, yes, it's a Mediterranean location, but it's more about the Little Mermaid and the characters and the story. It's more about that. And Hunchback of Notre Dame is placed in Notre Dame, Paris. It has reality tied to it, but it revolves around Notre Dame, the location. It is more real, but yet we all know the location has to be a lot more eye-catching, impressive, and it has to feature Notre Dame as a character. And that puts a standard on this animated movie. If you want to do something magical, why put in reality? This is just the prologue. What about the movie itself? How about the main character, Asha? Yeah, Asha. Look, it's not that I don't like the character, it's just the bumbling, fumbling fool, it's too close to Rapunzel and Anna. Look, with Rapunzel, it's cute. With Anna, you can be a little charming, but it can be a little put-offish. But now we get a third rendition of the bubbly personality. When you do a joke a third time, it doesn't hit as well. So, okay, that's another hurt. What's her story? What's the story? What she's trying to do? What's her goal? Well, she wants to become an apprentice to the Sorcerer King.
My best friend, the king's apprentice.
Because she wants to be the Sorcerer's apprentice. Wait, now I get it! Really, filming, saying out loud, I finally get that joke. Is that me being slow, or is that the movie being clever?
I have no response to that.
But the main reason is she wants to get her grandfather's wish granted. She wants her grandfather's wish to come true because he just barely turned 100. And that'll be kind of neat for his 100th birthday to get that wish granted. Aha, got that one. And she's meeting up with the king, and they have this, I admit, a good duet between the two about the wishes. She sees her grandfather's wish and kind of asks, hey, can you mind granting my grandpa's wish? And here is another little rough spot. The king kind of points out, look, if you would have waited, I probably would have, but I see a grandpa's wish and there's a little uno momento problema here. It's a little vague. Your grandpa wants to inspire people with music, but what is it he wants to inspire? It could be something more, so I can't do it. I won't grant his wish. And she's offended.
These will never be granted?
Not some, most.
Yeah, most wishes won't. And here's another problem with the movie. There's a lot of defense for the villain. We've kind of noticed with a lot of modern films, there's a lot of defense for the villains. They want to make the story gray, or they try to make a villain sympathetic to the point that there's a defense for them. Here, this is a big problem for the movie. This is a king, and in the villain's song, he clearly points out there's no taxes.
I let you live it for free, and I don't even charge you rent.
So the only price is giving a wish, and there's the chance you can get your wish granted. That is actually a not bad system.
Not bad.
And there's again the problem. There's a great defense for the villain, to the point that it kind of makes Asha standing not that good. Her confiding in her friends, and through this distress of learning that most wishes won't be granted, and her feeling distraught about that, she goes out and does the song As I Make a Wish. And that brings this wishing star to her. And with that wishing star, a thing that can grant wishes, the king feels threatened. And this kind of leads to Asha and clashing with the king, and the king trying to find out who is this person who brought magic that can grant wishes. That's a threat to the kingdom and to me. The star. Yeah, the star. Can you say buy me plushie? And with her and the star, it's her trying to hide it, and also we get to learn more about her friends and that exposure. And people may have an issue with the friends, but I kind of don't mind the friends, because the friends are basically representatives of the seven dwarves. It kind of feels a little full circle with the 100th film acknowledging the first film. I don't mind that as much. I thought that was kind of cute in its way.
I have no response to that.
But then we get to the villain and the villain's song.
Can't help it if mirrors love my face.
This is the villain more becoming a villain, and this is his descent to being a bad guy. And that's the issue. This is a guy going to a bad guy. But the villain's song, I think, is far more important than people realize. In our great saga of analyzing Disney villains to figure out who is the greatest Disney villain, I came upon a pattern. There's a lot of green with Disney villains, whether they wear green or have green wrapped around them, or more importantly, green eyes. And this movie, revolving itself around Disney and wrapping itself around Disney, kind of acknowledges my hunch. There is a reason why Disney villains have green around them, and a lot of the best Disney villains have green eyes. It kind of confirms it. There's an importance to Disney villains with green, because it puts them on a standard. And that is a problem for the movie. The villain is not as intimidating. He's smart and a little clever, I'll admit, but he's just not as memorable as he should be. Oh. We're not here to analyze villains. He may be put into the villain analysis machine, but that'll be for a long time. Hydration break. But during the villain's song, you see Asha go and get her grandpa's wish and deliver it back to him. Look, I don't want to get into spoilers. I want people to see this movie. I want you to have your opinion, which is important. This is my opinion, not your opinion. This is just an info guy. But if you don't want the spoiler, go to this time mark, because I am now going to head to the spoilers and the real reason why I don't like this movie. I want to talk about this movie's ending, because I feel like it was a failure for the wrong reasons. And the best way to describe this, it's the setup. The best metaphor for this movie is volleyball. You have the bump, set, and spike. And the bump is Act 1. Establishing Grandpa is turning 100. This is his wish. The set. Asha discovers Grandpa's wish, finds it inspiring, and wants to restore him to the wish, and does. The spike. what happens with Grandpa and his wish. It was poorly placed, because he gets his wish at the very end of the movie, which I thought was the dumbest decision ever. Bump, set, bump, when it should have been bump, set, spike. At the ending of the movie, where the villain is at his best and he's just controlling everyone and he's being a bad guy, and Asha ends up reprising the song, As I Make This Wish. She shouldn't have been the one singing. No, that's the biggest problem of the movie. Asha singing, reprising the song, As I Make This Wish. It shouldn't have happened. This movie was trying to be Frozen, and it tried to make As I Make This Wish into Let It Go. The movie should have been Coco. And that's what this movie should have been. It was there, clear as day. When that villain had everyone in and everyone feeling depressed, it shouldn't have been Frozen with Asha singing. It should have been Coco with the grandpa singing, reprising that song and fulfilling his wish with everyone looking at him. Him being that inspiration, that with power surrounding him, trying to bring him down. And it should be him cowering still, all this power pushing him down. Yet he sings the song as power is pushing him. He shouldn't stand up straight and be strong. It should be just determination, him just singing, doing all he can with each and every note. It would mean the actor playing the grandpa had to have the biggest set of pipes for that role. But if you did that, this movie would have had a spike, and a really well done one. It would have made the story feel full circle. It would establish how important the grandpa really was and kind of has been, because he has been the driving point for the entire story. And more than that, it would have hit the feels. It would have been a musical moment that would have hit the audience hard.
Well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
That's what they should have done, but they went for Frozen instead. So, what's the final verdict? Well, if I would rate this movie from 1 out of 7, I'm going to be honest, okay, people? I give it a 2. Maybe it deserves the hate and arguments around it. I kind of pointed out my problems with it. But the music is not bad. Not memorable, but not terrible. And yes, it has its faults and flaws. But it's because of those faults and flaws, I think the movie is perfect. What? Let me explain. Movies that we talk about and analyze a lot are good movies. But movies that are bad, I think deserve love. If we can analyze and understand the question of why do I not like this movie, answer it. Look at your answer and analyze it, because that can help you to become a better story writer or a storyteller or a director. Look at the bad stuff so you can become better. And look at it, analyze it, because the movie is too perfect with its failures. And I like it because of that. And through the failures of this movie, it kind of changed a little bit of our Disney villain analysis. And I can't wait to go more into those. But until that time comes, this is the Bullfrog signing out.
I have no response to that.